And we're back. September 9th, 2025. I'm driving in Norwich, Connecticut. Right now I'm on West Town Street. And apparently there's road work ahead, although that may have just ended. Yeah, it looks like they just finished up. So that's good for us. I haven't done a drive in a little while. I did some experimental, actually those were drives, experimental drives I did with microphones placed under my hood inside, near my engine to get the sound of the engine as I was driving around. That is a kind of a subgenre that's fairly popular with some people on YouTube. I gave it a try with 2 different vehicles. It's kind of fun because you don't know what you're going to get for a recording. And I think I'll try it again in the future, but that was a little, several days ago. And the reason I haven't been doing videos lately, or at least I haven't done any of these kind of talking, driving videos, is I had a computer, it wasn't a problem, but a thing that took, kind of an operation that took 4 days to, it's technical, but it was verifying hard disks, and I couldn't really do any heavy video work or anything for that period of time. So that situation's been taken care of, so I figured I'd do a drive around Norwich. I'm on taking a right here onto Ox Hill Road right now. We have an election coming up, so signs are popping up all over the place. The local election for mayor and city council, board of education in Norwich, Connecticut. So there's signs. You'll be seeing a lot of them. I mean, back there, somebody, I don't know, they looked like they had a dozen signs in their yard. So there's that different element. We had rain, and I noticed a lot of the lawns kind of greened up instantly. It's another reason I couldn't go out for a drive, but the main reason was to get technical, verifying 4 separate hard drives in a RAID 5 configuration that I use to back up photographs, videos, and just important data. By the way, I'm shooting this video in super wide view. It's as wide as it gets. As I continue up Ox Hill Road towards Norwich Tech is up here. I'm trying to think. What do I want to do? Do I want to go straight into Mohegan Park, or do I want to... Wow, Tech is definitely back in session. Let me take a drive through the parking lot just for laughs. Whoa, wait a minute here. Cars only, buses only. This guy's backing up. Anyways, we'll get a look at this. Usually I drive around here. It's dead empty. But school back in session, so... trying to navigate. Okay, I'll follow this guy. He probably knows what he's doing. So I would assume if Tech is back, everybody's back. Kelly Middle School down the road, NFA, they're back. So that's, one other factor involved in that is driving around being behind school buses. That can be brutal, especially on streets like Asylum Street. Back when I was a kid, everybody would gather at a bus stop. Hang on a minute. Well, Kelly Middle School looks pretty empty unless I don't know what the deal with that is, but yeah, we would gather at a bus stop, have to walk, I don't know, depending on where you live, half a mile. I mean, some kids walked more than that, maybe a mile. Whatever it was, you walk to the bus stop. Bus would pick you up. School would, and they'd bring you back to the bus stop, drop you off, and that was it. Pretty much game over. Now, for example, like I mentioned earlier, Asylum Street, they bring you house to house. I mean, there could be a house, and they drop the kid off, and then they drive down the road, 40 feet, and then drop the next kid off. This is obviously some kind of a new thing, whatever it is. I say new, it's probably been going on for 10 years for all I know. But I'm on Mohegan Road right now, by the way. But, roads like Asylum Street and, believe me, many roads, it'll take you an eternity to get down the length of it. Whoa, yeah, that's a nice woodchuck in front of us. I mean, I got the super wide on. He's probably going to look like a dot, but that was a very large woodchuck that just went directly in front of this car. This is a very snaky road right here. It's they widened it down the end. I'll show you. As we turn right here, or just go swerve to the right a little bit, you see that new pavement right there? That makes a huge difference for safety. And there's some guy right on my tail. I mean, what's the point? I mean, so this is the end of Mohegan Road. I'll take a left onto Washington Street. Hopefully. Let's see if I can get out of here. Whoa, this is a rare lull in the traffic on Washington Street. I'll take it. I'm just going to do a general cruise around Norwich. I've covered these roads hundreds and hundreds of times. Of course, I've never done it on September 9th, 2025. But I'm just trying to get my sea legs back. I want to put this video and do all the editing and everything on that new RAID 5 system that I just built. By the way, I built it with the help of artificial intelligence. I mean, basically artificial intelligence chatbot, ChatGPT, giving me instructions. Now, the caveat there is AI, artificial intelligence, still makes mistakes. They're called hallucinations. And believe me, the mistakes can be extremely dangerous, important mistakes that can render your computer, I don't want to say dead, but things can get ugly. I'm going to take a quick right here. I want to get out and take a look at the building, Marina Towers. It's been completely razed. They knocked it down. I did a video over an hour. I think it was an hour and 7 minutes where I stood. I didn't bring a tripod. This is with a different camera, much better camera, and lens and everything. And I filmed the last vestiges of the building. The final moments of its life, where it was torn down. So I stood in one position for an hour and 7 minutes with my hands, kind of trying to hold the camera as steady as I could. I'm like, whoa, this is, it's to stand in one spot locked, your elbows locked against, you're holding it for steady, so it's not jumping around all over the place, the video. I mean, the lens has image stabilization. It helps a little bit. Electronic image stabilization. It does help a little bit. But after an hour, it was like, whoa, you get kind of frozen into a position. Then you start, when you go to move around, you can, if you don't believe me, try it. Give it a try. Stand in one spot for an hour and 7 minutes, holding a camera, anything you can get your hands. Just hold a book, a big book or something, and let me know how you feel. It's a interesting sensation. All right, I'm gonna head down. I'll pull into the. Well, let's see. I got a red light. Okay, let me get my bearings. Okay, so to the right. All right, it's green. To the right, you would normally see. I mean, I got this super wide on here, so. To the extreme right, there was a building right there to your right. You can't miss it. It is now gone. You see, some heavy equipment in there. Okay, so they're digging out. I see the foundation to my right. And they saved a lot of the wood, or at least the large beams and things. That building was built in the 1800s. Could be the early 1800s. I'm not sure the exact date, but... actually, let me take a ride around here. I get this super wide lens on. I may as well grab some footage down here of this marina and the docks and everything. Hang on a minute. I gotta look around here. Okay. So this place is usually packed. This parking lot, weekends or whenever, it's absolutely jam-packed. There's the police station ahead and a bunch of boats out there in the marina, in the boat slips. I mean, this thing's so wide. So there's a very popular restaurant right there. These guys' brewery, and it's a restaurant and like microbrewery or whatever. There's that nice building. There's a plaque up there. Let me try to read that thing. Captain something. It's all covered over by trees. Anyways, we took a little cruise around there. But in the distance, that building, there's a dark gray small building with two doors directly in front of us. Let me get up to this thing. Directly in front of us. Behind that was Marina Towers, which is no longer. If you want to watch video, I have video of all of it. I have it when it was up, when it was being knocked down, and the final stage of it being taken down. All right, let me swing over a little bit here if I can. I mean, again, this is super wide, but right there, you can see those lights, and there was a building there. It is not there now. They're slowly but surely getting rid of everything. There's Marina directly in front of us. It's kind of a windy day today. It's 73 degrees, so that's, I'd consider that very comfortable. It's dry, no humidity. Not tons of traffic at this time. As we wait for the red light to turn green. And we'll get some super wide view. So yeah, we get some clouds out there in the distance. Howard T. Brown Memorial Park to my right. They had the Italian festival, A Taste of Italy. I think that was last Saturday, and it was I didn't go, but I saw some pictures, and people that were there mentioned that it was packed, jam-packed, which is good to hear. We like to hear that. Things in Norwich are, the different events they have. We like to hear that they're successful and that they're sold out and crowded and a lot of business being done. We like to hear that. Rose Arts Festival. There's a lot of good festivals. Rock the Docks. I mean, that series is over. Rockin' the Green. That's at the Norwich Town Green. Norwich has a lot of good spring, summer, fall, winter activities. Parades. They don't miss anything. They just really they put on every conceivable kind of recreational activity. There's more festivals coming up. I mean, it's hard to keep them all in my mind because there's so many of them. I mean, there's different cultures, international things and things for kids, things for adults, art shows, and it's endless. Okay, we got a blinking light again. Lately this light has been blinking rather than the conventional red, yellow, and green configuration. Okay, there's the roundabout. It's one of the rare times I'm not going to go around the whole thing. Every video I do that, but this time I'm not going to do it. What is this? F66, Foundry 66. So there's something happening down here. Foundry 66. Interesting. Gonna have to look that up. I'm on Main Street right now. Down City in Norwich, Connecticut. And to the right, again, I've been by here a million times, but they're still working, constructing the former YMCA is being converted into offices for modern construction, I believe. Some apartments, which I was surprised to hear, and restaurants and some retail space. A microbrewery has been mentioned for there. I mean, obviously, the project's not complete. I don't think it's going to be done till 2026 as far as the final I would say grand opening, or the last brick is laid and the plumbing is turned on, the electrical, the whole thing. 2026 at some point. I'm gonna cruise through the east side section right now. The Liberty Store restaurant equipment and supplies to my left. Legendary. It's been there forever. But once that former YMCA building is done, it's going to be beautiful. I've seen the renderings, the artist renderings. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And if it's, the offices, we know those are going to be utilized by modern construction. The apartments, somebody will snap them up. I mean, there's housing shortage, so somebody will grab the apartments. And as far as the retail space, I'm on East Main Street, by the way. As far as the retail space is concerned, and the restaurant designation, I don't know. But they'll have a brand new rehabilitated building to go into, so. And the light has turned green. If I kept going, I'd end up hitting Foxwoods, but we're not going to do that. We just got off East Main Street, and I am now on Palmer Street Extension. I guess this would fall into the category of a random. I used to do random drives. Put the camera on the car, get everything ready, hit the record button, and just drive around. Those videos are really popular. I haven't done one in a long time. So we'll consider this another random drive. I don't know how many volumes I had, but quite a few. As we morph into something, this is now Middle Road. So some of these roads, they right in the middle of driving, no turns or nothing unusual, it just changes into a different, the street name changes into a different designation. Now that's, my GPS is telling me this, so I assume it's true. Hinkley Hill Road up there. It's a dead end. I'm not going to go up there, but it's a very steep hill. Nobody behind me, nobody in front of me, so I got the whole road to myself right now. There's a good chance right now, I believe, we're in Preston, Connecticut. But Middle Road is a very nice, quiet street. Minimal amount of traffic. Nobody bothers you. A lot of people out here have solar panels on their house, which, as I mentioned in past videos, I am a huge proponent of solar and wind power and renewables. That's the way to go. That's reality. It's not the future, it's the present. Middle Road continues on. Middle Road is not a little short jaunt. I mean, this thing there's a lot of twists and turns, and it's a visually beautiful road. It's a good road to take a drive in the autumn season, the fall, and take a look at the foliage. A lot of nice homes out here, like the one right there on the right-hand side. Beautiful property. At some point, this road is going to bring me to more familiar territory. Because it feels kind of like I'm out in the middle of nowhere. One minute you're, down city, Norwich, Main Street or whatever. The next minute you're on Middle Road. And it's extreme. It's out in the country, very, rural. There's a cemetery back there. I'm going to turn around. There's a cemetery back there that I want to cover. Let's see here. Yep. There's one thing about having no traffic or a very lightly traveled road. You don't have to worry about turning around. And all right, let me keep my eyes open here. This is a very tiny sign. I think, yeah, this is it. NHBA Cemetery. Norwich Hebrew Benevolent Association, Cemetery number 3, Cemetery number 4. So this cemetery, I did a professional photography shoot down here one time. I don't know how many, 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, somewhere in there. This is connected to the cemetery, the Jewish cemetery near Norwich Hospital, or the former grounds of Norwich Hospital. This is associated with, or, part of that, in obviously a different location. They needed more space, or, whatever the case would be. But I did a professional, I was hired to do a shoot for this gentleman that was in charge of this project and everything, and he contacted me through my website, wanted photographs, and he told me what he wanted. It was very specific. This was a phenomenal guy. I mean, I love this guy. As a matter of fact, this guy was a very prominent figure. He won an Emmy Award. I mean, he lives in New York. He's a, big time producer or whatever. I mean, it's high end. I'm dealing with a very super successful gentleman that, I show up, the guy gets out of his Mercedes, and this is a guy with some serious buckshot in his resume. Okay, I mean, if you win an Emmy Award up on stage, that's impressive. But right there, I'm glad I covered this. Right there to the right, this is a very beautiful, well-maintained, tree-lined cemetery with some, very prominent people buried in there right now. But he was very pleased with the work. He asked me for specifics, and I the more specific somebody can get with a particular project like that, the better, because, and here's a couple of gates. I guess I would probably shut these down at night right there. The more specific, the better, because then you can't, if they kind of leave it up to you and say, just go ahead and do whatever you want. It's like, well, you're thinking to yourself, do they want something editorial? Do they want, documentary styled. I mean, it's endless, like something with a certain artistic flair. Do they want something in the evening, in the morning, midday? It's too many variables. This guy was like, boom. He knew what he wanted. He was a pro, an expert. So I delivered everything, and he got back to me and was very happy with the project. It got published. It was kind of exciting. And we shook hands and parted at the end of the thing, and he said he'd like to work with me again in the future if he has any projects in this area. He's not, he's not from around here. He's a New York guy, so we're back on Middle Road here. I'm not going to say Middle Road is in the middle of nowhere, because it's not, but it's definitely a country, a quiet country Connecticut road. I mean, wow, there's an old home back there. That would be a nice fixer-upper. All right, so we're getting out. To the left, you're going to see what used to be the Brookside Cafe. Hopefully this lens is wide enough you can see the former Brookside Cafe. I'm going to take a right. This will bring us up to Norwich Hospital. Again, the former grounds of the Norwich Hospital. It's not there anymore. There's some buildings left, not the vast majority of everything has been torn down. Whoa, this is quite a hill here. Okay, so off of Middle Road. Okay. Pocatonic Cove. That's that body of water right there. Route 2A. That's what I'm on right now, according to this GPS. I'm going to go up Laurel Hill, do a kind of a minor maneuver once I get into the city, and just work my way back to where I started this thing, and then we'll close up shop. Halsey Brook, we just crossed that bridge back there. Speed limit on this road is 40 miles per hour. Do people do 40 miles per hour on this particular road? I would say highly unlikely. I think they go much, much faster. Based on anecdotal evidence. As we quickly get right up to where the grounds of Norwich Hospital used to be. Okay, I'm first in line. We got a red light. So directly in front of us would be the Kettle building. Huge building. I worked there. Behind that to the left would be the Ribicoff building. There was a morgue. There was a laboratory, among other medical, rather than psychiatric, more of a medical building. To the right, slightly behind Kettle, would be the Lodge building. Seymour building is over there. I have a full walk around on the ground, me walking around recently of Norwich Hospital. I point out where the buildings were, the ones that were demolished, the ones that are very few that are standing. That's worth taking a look at. That's one of my personal favorite videos that I've done. I am on Military Highway right now. I'm in Preston. I will be crossing into Norwich right now. Norwich Incorporated, 1784. I don't know why. No, every time I go through Norwich, whatever sign part of town says incorporated whatever year, it's always a different year. If somebody knows the reason for that, let me know, because I don't. It's kind of a mystery. All right, I got a guy right on my tail. Completely unnecessary. As I drive up Laurel Hill Road. Big sign, welcome to Norwich, beautifully painted. And we got the super view going. Laurel Hill Road eventually changes its name, and I'll try to point that out when it switches over. Thames View Apartments to the left. There is a fire station, Laurel Hill Fire Department to my left. As we cruise down, we're still on Laurel Hill Road, hasn't changed over quite yet. I have videos. There's VFW to my left. I got a walk around. I did a lot of stuff up here the past year, walking around, different camera. Okay, now we're on Laurel Hill Avenue as opposed to Laurel Hill Road, so the switch was near the VFW. All right, let me take just a very quick left right in here. There's a big, huge building. I don't know, I get this super wide on here. This parking lot is all overgrown with grass and everything. I did a walk around of this thing. If you want to see this stuff, and you say, wow, I went to school there when I was a little kid. Hey, I got you covered. Go to my YouTube channel, type in whatever, anything Norwich or anything in the area, it's probably going to come up. And I got another one. There's in front of me, you can't see it, but the Horton Sphere directly in front of us. It's gigantic. I covered that thing head to toe. And I may do it again because obviously I'm going to wait till all the leaves are down. It's too, it's overgrown right now. And this is the former thermos factory down here. They used to make thermos bottles and everything. And there's kind of a very well-known school down there. Whatever. There's tons of stuff. I'm not going to go through it now, but I think there are condos or apartments to the right. You can't see too much of it. Thames River is to the right. But just that quick pit stop there. Yeah, the Horton Sphere, it's barely visible through the trees. When the autumn kicks in and maybe in the winter or whatever, I'll take a ride down. I want to get better footage of that sphere. That was a popular video. People all over the world are into Horton Spheres. They're really cool. Big round, what looks to be made out of iron or extremely heavy duty steel. And apparently there's a lot of interest in those things. I mean, again, let me take a quick, I'm just going to pull in here for 1 second. I did another video on these right here. These Quonset huts right there. They've been there for, I don't know, since the 50s or whatever. If anybody knows, drop me a line. I'll be curious. But I have a full video on that. I take requests, guys. If you want me to do this is going to give us a much better view of that former Laurel Hill School. Right there. The building's starting to degrade. I hope somebody grabs it and does something with it, fixes it up, make apartments. There was a restaurant, a bar. There was all kind of cool stuff. A printing company was in there. But there's nothing in there right now, and it's just kind of, you hate to see a historic property like that fall apart. But I've been doing a lot of walk-arounds this past year. This is a productive year for me as far as my YouTube channel is concerned. But I take requests. I can't fulfill them all, and some of them are, too far away or this type of thing. But if it's in the area, I'll do it. If I can. Some things people say, could you do this? And I try to do it, and it's private property, and there's just all kind of problems. So if it's doable, I'll make an effort to get that done. So Laurel Hill Avenue, is this thing one way, do not enter, or yeah, do not enter. Oof. That sign's kind of, that do not enter sign's kind of, sun faded. That's something I think needs to be replaced. All right, let me figure out what I'm going to do here. I'm going to head back. All right, I think I know what I'm going to do. So we're getting some more clouds in right now, and that's good for video. I love, if I'm going to drive at this time of day, I like big white puffy clouds. Now these videos, that with the changing seasons, I tend to drop off in frequency, the amount of driving videos I do, because of the angle of the sun gets too severe and the shadows, and it's complicated, and I'm not going to get into the technical merits of what I'm talking about, but if it's completely overcast, and I mean, blanketed with clouds, no sun whatsoever, I can do a video any day of the year perfectly, as long as it's not raining. So I need total overcast. I'm on the viaduct right now. I need total overcast skies, and I can go out any time of the day. What I'm waiting for now is I want to go out in the evening, not dark, but I would say 6 o'clock, maybe 5:30 or something like that. I would start the video on an overcast day, and then as it darkens, because I don't want that severe angle of light. It's good for photography, but for this weird, very unusual kind of driving video, these are not a common, genre of video work that you see in people, driving all over the place with cameras on their car. It's kind of rare. So this is a very unusual subgenre, but if it's really overcast and I hit the road at, let's say today it was like super overcast, and I hit the road at 5:30, whoa. I'm on North Main Street, but I'm going to go on Central Avenue. If I hit the road at 5:30, completely overcast, and then it starts to get darker. I won't do dead dark. I've tried some nighttime stuff. These cameras don't have the sensor's too small. They don't have the dynamic range. Whatever, more technical stuff. It's very If I had a full-size camera, I could do it, but I'd have to make manual adjustments. It's just not feasible right now. In the future, that could change. You know, technology keeps improving. But for these little cameras that you can put on cars and things, as I drive down right through the heart of Greenville right now, Central Avenue, if it's overcast, no problem. I can drive around, even lighting, no shadowing, perfect. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing that soon. But again, it's a weather issue. You got to get a totally overcast day with no rain, so it can't be mostly cloudy. It has to be completely cloudy. Total, zero sun. A very gray day. Perfect for evening. I want to get out there with the lights, the sun. Everything starts to dim. The camera will make the proper adjustments automatically on the exposure and all that. But then automobile lights, headlights come on, store lights come on. So I want that effect, that look. But during the summer, I can go out midday. I would say probably from 10 to 4 maybe, or 5 o'clock. Regardless of the sun, and the angle of light is fine. And I would say June, July, early August. But then it starts to change too much, too dramatically, and I'm back on North Main. But anyways, that's what I want to do. So look for that in the future. It's going to happen. Vacaturas to my right, the legendary Vacaturas. Boswell Avenue. We're on Boswell right now. And I'm heading back to Norwich Town, the area, I'm trying to think where I started. Somewhere on, I think it was West Town Street, so I'll work my way back. And we'll shut down the operation. You got a Family Dollar down here, the ubiquitous Family Dollar. It's hard to get away from dollar stores, which I don't go in dollar. I mean, they're fine. It's not something I have shopped in recently, but my understanding from what some folks were talking about is the stuff's really not $1. I mean, to me, a dollar store implies when you walk in, everything is $1. Apparently, it's no longer $1. It's more than $1. They should have $5 stores, $10, everything in the store, $5. Theoretically, it's 5 times better than the stuff in a dollar store, maybe a $10 store. Start ratcheting up the numbers. A $25 store, a $50 store, $100, $1,000. Every single thing you walk in there, everything's $1,000. That probably wouldn't make it. Norwich Avenue is the street that I am on right now. There's some form of, I don't know, road work, one-lane traffic, something going on up there when people are shaking their heads, and whatever, I have no idea. I can't really see. There's trucks with flashing lights, but I don't know what the deal is. Once we get cracking, we'll find out here. Good, we're getting waved on. Let's take a look. We'll find out together. Let the excitement build. What is it? What are they doing? I'm going to guess tree work? I don't know. I didn't really see. I mean, there's a couple of large dump trucks there, but they're working on new apartments to the right. I don't know if they're connected with Panema Mills. I don't know if it's the same business or not, but they look absolutely beautiful. I mean, this project, it's not done. They're still working on it, but it's going to be incredible. There's Panema Mill to the right. And I'm going to drive right through the heart of Taffville. According to the sign back there, if I keep going straight, it'll bring me to Hartford. 169. I'm on Providence Street. Mill houses on both sides of the street back when Panema Mills was making, I don't know what they made, cloth, wool, whatever, cotton work. I don't know what they did. Silk, whatever it was. People that worked there lived in these houses to the left and right, and they walked to work. And they're nice apartments. They're, well, duplexes. I've been in them. They're beautiful. Very solid, unique construction. As we drive up Providence Street, Waquanic Elementary School to the right. The Sacred Heart Church to the left. The hill gets very steep right now. The gentleman in front of me is driving very slow. I'm not complaining. That's maybe better. Now I'm on Merchants Avenue. It's another one of those streets that right in the middle of nowhere, it changes from Providence to Merchants, or Merchants to Providence. Like snap of a finger, boom, there it is. And by the way, Merchants Avenue that I'm driving on right now is going to morph into another street right up the road here. I'll give you, I'm going to hold you out in suspense here a little bit. I know the answer, but for those folks that don't, the change is going to come up real quick. So I am on Merchants Avenue right now. Still on Merchants. Merchants continues. Merchants hanging on by a thread. Still Merchants. Harlan Road. So Hunter's Brook we just went over. So somewhere around Hunter's Brook, a little tiny brook. That's the spot that Harlan Road morphs into Merchants, depending on which way you're going. This person in front of me was driving very slow, and that's respectable. He's doing the speed limit. I commend that gentleman. But he turned down Hunter's Road, so nobody in front of me. I'm just going to cruise up Harlan Road. And we're entering, this is the Norwich Town section right here. I'm going to take a right onto Wayne Street. Some nice houses on Wayne Street. This is it. We're on Wayne Street, the very picturesque and beautiful Wayne Street, with the clouds cooperating. Well, somebody's gutting a house back there. Gonna take a left onto Stewart Road, another real nice road. When I was a kid, there was no houses on Stewart Road. Stewart Road didn't exist, I don't think. Maybe it did, but there were no homes back there. It was just a wooded area. I'm gonna take a left onto Canterbury Turnpike. And this is a little tricky, this spot here. You gotta kind of jump out because there's a hill to the right, and if somebody comes flying over that thing, you got yourself a big problem. So I'm cruising down Canterbury Turnpike right now. It's 2:13 p.m. I like to do these videos when I can in one single take with no cuts, but with the angle of light as severe as it is, I may have to do some cuts. I hope not. I'll try not to, but I don't know. Got a feeling I might have to make some cuts. We'll see what happens. House for sale to the right. Canterbury Turnpike is going to morph into, let's see, here's another one of these East Town Street. So at least this one has kind of a little turn onto it. So we're on the very historically significant East Town Street in Norwich, Connecticut right now. A gentleman that signed the Declaration of Independence used to live on this street. To the left, I don't know if you can see that yellow building right there. That's the former home of Samuel Huntington, who signed the Declaration of Independence. I mean, that's you sign the Declaration of Independence, you got some pretty significant swagger in your step after that gig went down. I mean, I'd be high-fiving all around if I was invited to sign that document. So we're on East Town. There is First Congregational Church to the right. To the left, the Huntington home. I'll cruise up here a little bit. And then I think I started around here, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thanks for coming along for the ride, everybody.